welcome to Act 1, Scene 1, Take 1 of Figuring It Out with Cian and Nick, the podcast. I'm Cian Rice, and I'm joined by Nick Mudry.
Hello. That is
Hi.
me.
So very formal intro for a very formal podcast.
It is very formal. We planned this out for months and months and months. I mean, we've been talking about it for months and months, and then I made a document, and then we didn't do it.
And that's basically the same thing as planning it for months and months, right?
Exactly.
That's how planning works, yeah. So I think we just decided, like, we're both trapped at home all the time. I think you have more time on your hands. And
kind of.
Now's the best time. So as we go crazy in this quarantine world, that we just shoot the shit occasionally.
Yes.
Yeah. So no real formal structure besides months and months of Nick writing a document and us talking about maybe doing a podcast. But yeah,
we will figure out the structure. That is the whole. Is
that why we named it this 5 minutes ago?
Yes, 5 minutes ago on a text chain. I was like, ooh, we'll just figure it out. There's the name. Yeah. There's the name.
And I said, actually a good name because I have low standards. How you been?
Wow, I was about to ask you the same thing. I've been all right. I mean, it was an interesting time to leave my job right before this whole pandemic started. It's like, let's just not have healthcare for a little bit. That's fine. Oh crap, this is the worst time to make that decision. Yeah. But we're all here. We're getting through it. I mean, I do have a new job, but it's part-time, so no healthcare with that. But I'll just sign up.
All right, putting your new employer on blast already, I see.
Well, I mean, I'm not putting them on blast. It's part-time, but
You're putting them on blast.
Yeah, no, things are interesting. Things are interesting. Like I said, it was just a weird time to just be like, all right, I'm gonna find something new, and all of a sudden the world collapsed.
Yeah, I think there's a strong correlation and causation between those two things.
Yes, it's all my fault, and it's all everyone's fault. Actually, everyone had plans in February that were supposed to change the world for them, and then the world decided nope.
Yeah. But hey, we got Animal Crossing.
We do have Animal Crossing, and that was the longest I've ever waited for a game that was only like a 2-week wait.
Jesus Christ.
Meanwhile, everyone who was like press was playing it a month ahead, and I'm just like, no, stop.
Yeah. So you're an Animal Crossing expert, is I think what I learned very quickly. As someone who has put in a grand total of 20 hours so far, compared to everyone else with their years of playtime.
I'll grab my Switch and tell you what my playtime is at right now. It's probably something outrageous. As I frantically, it says played 120 hours or more of Animal Crossing.
So this is an audio medium, so people can't see, but my eyes just kind of like bugged out because that's like almost literally 100+ hours beyond what I've played. I play like 20 minutes a day at most. Just an FYI, paid 106 for turnips today. So
that's interesting because I've bought turnips once, and I don't have any more money because it all went bad.
Oh, Jesus.
So now I'm a struggling Animal Crossing player. I mean, lately I've been playing like 20 minutes a day or so, but I started off playing probably like, I don't know, a 15-hour day was my first day.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is like literally everyone I talked to was the same way. Like I had a text with someone and I was like, lol, I've barely played this game, by the way. And they're like, lol, same. I totally didn't put in 30 hours this week. And I said, no, I've actually barely played this game. I had like 5 hours. And like with the Nintendo Switch, like those hour counts don't start showing up until I think 10 days after you've played the game.
Yeah.
So I went through all of my friends on my Switch and like one person had 120, one person had 70, one person had like 50. And I had 5 hours or more.
Yep. Do you have the parental controls app? You can get your very detailed hourly stats on the parental controls app.
Really? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to do that.
I don't know if it retroactively works.
Data.
Yeah, I don't know if it retroactively does it, but you could. It works rolling forward once you set it up, I think, and it's down to the minute per game. So I don't like looking at that anymore. Yeah. No. Good old Animal Crossing. I don't know. That the game's fun. It's obviously there's a lot to do up front for that first like week, and then it becomes a slow grind after that. But I think that's nice. I like a game that I could kind of just like play for a little bit and then put it down and then come back and then I'm just gonna go visit someone's island, or I'm gonna chop down these trees I haven't chopped down yet, and then come back the next day and do something new.
Yeah, and I think especially like we joke about the coronavirus, but like it's a great time for a game like this where you can kind of go outside, quote unquote, and like socialize with people and visit your friends' places virtually, and like I feel like your place can actually kind of reflect your actual place. Like I joked on Twitter, and of course churches like to tweet, so that made me feel good. Is that like my villager like started prioritizing their vinyl collection over furniture, which is definitely how it happened in real life for me. And like the first thing I put up was like the bones of what you believe by churches. But then like I went to other people's islands and like it looked like what I'd imagined their apartment would look like, which in some cases is a terrifying fucking thing. Flavor Town is a very Nick Mudry island.
You visited before with the flag up. And set my town tune. Okay,
so what is your flag and town tune? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
My flag is Guy Fieri, and my
say that again. Say that again.
Guy Fieri.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I mean you have to say it right. At least I hope that's close enough to right. And in my town tune, I forget which part of All Star it is, but it is a part of All Star. I think it's the Hey Now You're an All Star. Get your game on, go play. No, it's I can't do it. I'm bad. I won't do it.
All right. So my town flag is the album art to Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And the national anthem of Do Peak, My Island, is the opening saxophone to Run Away With Me, which is also the opening track to Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen. It took me an hour to figure it out. And then I found out that there's a fucking website that has like the tunes
yeah. That's what I did. I went online and I was like, ooh, what are the notes to All Star? And I was like, I don't want guitar tablature. I just want the notes, because I don't want to also translate tablature to notes. I'm just like, what are the notes? Tell me this.
So it's funny that you say that, because that's actually how I did it.
Oh.
So I learned how to play the opening saxophone line to Run Away With Me on guitar, and converted that to like piano, like actual sheet music, and then converted that to Animal Crossing, and found out that if you play that saxophone line incorrectly, it sounds like the opening melody to Final Fantasy VII, which is a very forced segue into another game.
Yes, I was going to say, it's a very timely segue to a thing that came out that I have no idea about.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and it's one of many games I've been playing. I guess full disclosure, I haven't been playing that many games this year up until this quarantine.
Yep.
But holy shit, this game! Holy shit! I wasn't like as excited for it as everyone else. I'm a big Final Fantasy and like JRPG weeb kind of person, as you probably know. I have a Kingdom Hearts tattoo.
I do know.
But like, yeah. The audience now knows too. All zero of our listeners currently, because it's the first episode. But like Final Fantasy VII is a great game, the original. But I was like, I don't know that I want like a 30-hour remake of the first 5 hours of that game, and I don't know that I want it to be Kingdom Hearts style combat. I want Kingdom Hearts in my Kingdom Hearts, not in my Final Fantasy. 15 aside, but no, it's actually like really fucking good so far, and like they've kind of captured the spirit of the original, and like as a kind of raging socialist democrat kind of person with like certain strong beliefs, like the game still kind of maintains some of that, because like for those who don't know, and I don't know about you, Nick, but like you're basically playing an eco-terrorist in that game.
Interesting.
Like, you're trying to like take down a corporation and like restore like the climate to how it should be, and like fighting climate change. And also there's like an evil swordsman from your past who's also maybe responsible for stuff. Like it becomes a fantasy game, but like it has politics, and they kept it.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah,
it's very pretty.
What I've heard about that game is exactly what you said. Everyone was just like, oh, this is really good, and surprisingly really good for like a remake and all that stuff. There's also been people saying like it's a good game to jump into if you have no idea what the hell Final Fantasy is, which has been tempting me. But I don't know if I want to. What?
You have a PlayStation 4, right?
Yes, I do have a PlayStation 4. It's not hooked. I don't even know where it is. I do have a PlayStation 4. I think the last game I played on my PlayStation was Death Stranding. I don't even remember how far I got in that. I have not completed it.
It's too long. Yeah, I'm on chapter 3 of that game. There's like 14 chapters, and I've played 10 hours of that game.
Yeah, I have played a lot, and I know I'm nowhere near any end in sight. There's no end in sight. It's scary.
Well, Final Fantasy VII is only going to be like 30 hours, the remake. So it's going to be shorter than Death Stranding, and it makes more sense than Death Stranding. The one thing Death Stranding has, and I don't know what version of Death Stranding you bought, because I bought the Digital Deluxe Edition, and this is why I bought the Digital Deluxe Edition, is that Death Stranding has a Churches song in it.
Yes, I know the Churches connection.
Final Fantasy VII does not have a Churches song in it. Death Stranding also has a Bring Me the Horizon song. Like, it had a soundtrack, and if you pre-ordered like the Digital Deluxe, you got the soundtrack, which is actually, all joking aside, the only fucking reason I bought the game, because I'm an idiot. It's a pretty game. It's not a particularly good game in my opinion. But
I don't know. It's like, I don't want to compare it to Animal Crossing, but I'm gonna try and do that in a way. It has the same kind of charm Animal Crossing does in terms of gameplay. Obviously not aesthetic, because they're two completely aesthetics. But it's just like you could just like kind of log in and deliver packages and trek over new landscapes and like forge new paths and that kind of stuff. And it's very calming in that sense, except when you run into the BTs and then you're just like, I'm just like, I hate this game. I don't want the BTs to be in here. I just want to walk across a giant world and deliver packages, and I don't want to do any combat, which is probably why I stopped playing. But,
yeah. Well, I think so. That part of the game, like the delivery and like the traversal stuff, I do actually really like that. But like the game gets in its own way so much. Like there's all these like stupid like side quests. Like I also like the like Dark Souls adjacent like leaving message and stuff. Like that stuff is really cool, and I can see the Animal Crossing connection even there. But like, holy shit! Like I don't want, and like the BT stuff sucks. Like you said, the like the people have gone crazy because they can't deliver packages anymore. Like that stuff is dumb. Like everything outside of that is bad, and like even the narrative, like it's not good, but it's like weird in that Kojima way. But it just takes so long to get going, and I don't know.
Also, one of my main paths in Death Stranding, I got attacked and killed, and it blew up like a nuclear explosion. Now there's just a giant crater in one of my favorite like pathways that I wanted to go to. It's like through a mountain, and I was like, now my only path is either to carefully go around the crater, and there's like maybe like a foot on each side where you could kind of just like walk around, but there could be a BT there, so you're screwed. Or you could go over a jagged mountain, and it just takes like another hour to get up and down. I'm like, this sucks. I want to fix the crater.
Every time I have to climb a mountain in that game, I feel like I'm playing Oblivion or Morrowind or Skyrim or something. Like, because I would always try to like go directly from point A to point B, not following like the trails in those games, and just like forcefully jump over a mountain I couldn't jump over, and like that's what Death Stranding's entire gameplay is that.
Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah.
It's still fun though. I enjoy it.
I will
anything else?
Well, I was just gonna say I will probably return to Death Stranding, depending on how long this quarantine lasts. But I have actually a whole list of games I've been playing. So we talked about Final Fantasy VII. We talked about Animal Crossing. I have played more Call of Duty this past week than I have in the preceding decade.
Same.
I beat COD 4. I'm halfway through Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, a PS4 timed exclusive. And I bought the remake or the reboot of Modern Warfare, which I haven't started yet. So
there's 3 active Modern Warfare games out right now. It's so confusing.
It's fucking wild.
Like, what year is it? And also, why are there 3 Modern Warfare games that all are like lined up next to each other on like BattleNet, and you're just like, which one do I watch again?
So I've been playing those. Like, I'm playing on Recruit because I'm not good at Call of Duty, but I wanted the spectacle of single player. And it's been interesting. Like, it's playing COD 4 and even just Modern Warfare 2. Like, those games like jump the shark really quickly. Like, I hear the new Modern Warfare is like a nice return to form or something, but man, they don't make them like they used to. I mean, Black Ops 3 was like an anime, but a Call of Duty game at the same time. That's just fucking
with
wild.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I think Black Ops was the Avenged Sevenfold trip, if I remember that. I think they're still doing it. Which actually, the songs of Avenged Sevenfold, right, for Call of Duty are not bad. They're not great, but they're not bad.
So I think for the audience, our tastes in music diverge a little bit.
I
like Backcountry. I like Almost Easy. I like Beast and the Harlot. and I like Afterlife, and I think those are all.
So the
Avenged
Guitar Hero 2
Sevenfold.
and 3 soundtrack.
Those are the Avenged Sevenfold songs I like.
Yes.
So yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Their new album's interesting. I like their new album. Oh wait, they technically put out a newer album. Whatever I don't know what album. The one that's I think The Stage is the name of the album. That one grew on me.
Okay. I gave up on that band a long time ago.
Yeah, it grew on me.
Fair.
But yeah, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like halfway through Modern Warfare 2. It's like a nice. I was playing games with my friend in Seattle last night, and he just had got Game Pass Ultimate, but he hadn't downloaded like the games we wanted to play, so he couldn't actually play them with me. So we did this thing where it's like he was playing Overwatch on his PC, and I tried to play Final Fantasy VII. And while I realized is that game requires like me to use my head and to like think tactically somewhat, and so I was like, I can't do this right now. So I just started playing Modern Warfare 2, and it's just like a nice game to kind of like be mindlessly distract yourself to, because you're just like pulling the trigger and like shooting. Though, and I guess the rest of the world might have known this. Tell me if you did. The no Russian level, you can actually shoot the people in that level. I did not know that. I thought it still was like friendly fire. I thought like maybe the game over condition would be like, no, just shoot in the air, because when I played that game originally on release as a freshman in college, I just shot up in the air and was like, look, I just bad aim. Yeah, I know. I'm new here. Sorry, guys. And no, you can actually just kill innocent civilians. And that was kind of fucked up.
That was the controversy back then. Still stands that you could do exactly that. That was, God, I remember when all that was happening way back then. And here we are again, 2020. Let's just bring it back.
Yep.
Such a good game.
4K HDR this time.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. It was a kind of I accidentally shot someone. I was like, oh god, oh no,
oh no.
But that was like a good moral compass for me. I was like, okay, I feel bad about this. I feel good about myself for feeling bad about this. So, God, it's fucking wild. Are you playing Modern Warfare 2019 or okay? Before I jump in,
so I haven't played the campaign yet. I'm in this weird spot where I want to play it on Xbox. Where I want to play the campaign on Xbox so I can get the achievements, because I don't want to play the campaign twice. So I just haven't rebought it on Xbox. I'll just wait for a sale. I've played a decent amount of Warzone already. Warzone's pretty good. Probably one of my favorite battle royales, because I've kind of sampled them all. But I mean, it feels like a good Call of Duty battle royale. Unlike what the previous one was, Blackout or whatever. That one was super janky, and they're like, we have a whole system for equipping things to your gun. It's like, this does not work in the Call of Duty world, but it does now, where it's just like find the powered up weapons like a Fortnite does.
Okay. No, because I haven't played Black Ops before, so like I didn't know how Blackout worked. I worked on Battlefield 5, which also had a battle royale mode, and so I was very much like, no Call of Duty for me.
I haven't played that battle royale mode.
I mean, I left EA before Firestorm came out, but like it seemed okay, I guess. It was all like kind of like Apex Legends. It was originally going to be squad based, and then when I finally downloaded it, I was able to play solo, which was a nice surprise because I hate squad based battle royales. That's like the actual one thing that stopped me from like going really hard on Apex, is that I don't want to play with a squad. I like the kind of survive. I played PUBG like a horror game. Like
that's an interesting.
I would just try to survive until the very end. I've never won a chicken dinner, but I've gotten like second place like multiple times, and without firing a bullet, kind of thing. Like the fact that I don't have the pacifist achievement is upsetting, but I'm curious to try out Warzone, because like it has like the gulag mechanic or something where you can like basically like fight your way back in.
Yeah,
is that right?
I'm very bad at that. Usually when they're like, oh, the gulag weapon is a revolver, and I'm like, all right, I might as well just like stand still, because I'm not going to get the headshot that the other person's going to get on me. It's just like every single time that's what happens. Actually, I'd never really win the gulag. It's usually luck. But the gulag's interesting. Even if you lose at that, like you could still, I think Fortnite has this mechanic, and Radical Heights also had this mechanic of being able to buy back with a buyback machine. Yeah, I know. I'm going deep cuts.
Radical Heights. Wow, that lasted 2 weeks.
That had so much promise, and what I really wanted that game to be, because it had like a bike in it and you could do tricks, I wanted it to be like a Tony Hawk shooter I wanted it to be Sunset Overdrive Battle Royale.
I would play that. But like it just sounded like that game was like released like before it was even ready for early access, and that kind of sealed its fate. So
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like, even if you lose at the Gulag, you could be bought back in by your teammates and you kind of just parachute back in. Of course, like, you're parachuting back in with just a pistol, and usually you're, like, at the last 20 people left, and everyone's already all geared up.
Gotcha.
So you're usually looking for... They have another interesting thing, which is the loadout mechanic. So, like, in normal Call of Duty, like, you know how you could set up your own loadouts for multiplayer?
Yeah, and your perks and shit.
And your perks and stuff. From the buy stations, you could buy a care package drop, which lets you and maybe it lets up to 4 people who go up to it, I think, buy or receive one of their loadouts from multiplayer. So it's a very interesting like thing, and you can kind of like set up all your loadouts. Like, okay, I want an assault rifle sniper class, and halfway through the match, if like you're kind of doing bad but you found enough money, you could kind of just buy that in.
Yeah.
And awesome. It's also super useful if you're like parachuting back in after like winning at the Gulag, or someone buys you in and you're like, well, I have no weapons and all the stuff has already been like looted, so let me just find the closest loadout drop, and hopefully no one's like guarding it with a sniper, and you just get in and get out. That's very fun.
It also says that there's an interesting synergy there between the actual like classic COD multiplayer progression and the battle royale, because like you can basically like have your like I'm gonna just, because I'm playing MW2, like you can go have like your shotgun akimbo like class and whatever, and then bring it in to like battle royale if you acquire enough currency, I guess. So that's actually pretty interesting.
It's also cool because your rank, so like your Call of Duty multiplayer rank, not your battle pass rank, which is, there's so many ranks in Call of Duty, but your actual rank is shared between Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone. So like as you rank up in multiplayer, like the classes you make there share with Warzone and vice versa. Nice. So it's like the same ecosystem in a way, which is really neat.
Yeah, because I don't think Firestorm is that like that in Battlefield 5. I don't know of any other games right now that have like a battle royale mode separate from a regular deathmatch. So that's actually pretty cool, and I'd like to see stuff do that. But when you're not like, you know, kicking back some like PBRs and Mountain Dews and Doritos and 360 no scoping dudes, like what are you playing like besides that and Animal Crossing?
So I made a list. I've been kind of jumping around between a bunch of games lately.
Same.
I've been playing a lot with a group of friends that we all hung out at PAX, the last social event of the world before the world ended.
I'm kind of surprised, by the way, that like there wasn't like any data that showed like PAX East happening like increased the spread of COVID.
Right, there was a like health event that happened, I think the week before or the week after. I think it was the week before PAX cases. That had COVID cases in Boston, and no one really reacted to that before, like as PAX was happening. People were just like, let's just like not shake hands, all right. And
I mean, some people reacted, right? Like, I mean, Sony pulled out Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. There was a decent amount of reaction and people, you know, making sure that they're being the best they can without trying to spread. But I mean, like that show floor was packed every day anyways. But regardless, I've been playing a lot of games with people that I was hanging out with PAX. So some of my old coworkers and some new friends we made. We kind of just been playing games every night. We've been playing Siege, mostly PvE multiplayer, which is...
Siege is in Rainbow Six?
Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah. That's fun. I'm not good at it, but again, we're playing PvE, and we tried like 2 rounds of PvP, and we're like, wow, people are really good at this game. We'll never do this.
Esports.
Yes, esports. We've also played Quake Champions, the early access Quake Champions.
Wait, that's still in early access?
Still in early access.
I was like in the first wave from like when they announced it at E3, so I think I have like the BJ Blazkowicz like skin and everything for that. Jeez, I didn't realize it was still in early access.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
You never played it. Great. Yeah, we that's like our weird, like my group's like weird go-to right now. Just like, let's just play some Quake quickly. Usually like playing Insta-Gib on some map with the sniper rifle, which is just stupid fun. It feels like, obviously, I haven't played a lot of classic first-person shooter games in a while, but it's that nice vibe of just like old Doom, old Quake, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, I've been trying to play that. It's like that. I don't know. Destiny's weird. It's one of those games I love, but I never play. and I get pissed off that I never played it, and it's the end of the season, and I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of stuff to do that I'll just never catch up on, and I paid $60 for this annual pass, which I didn't use at all.
Yeah. I haven't even finished Shadowkeep, but yeah, same way. And newsflash, this just in. Stadia is offering 2 free months to everyone now. Stadia is free, but their pro subscription, you get 2 months free, even if you were a premium purchaser. So I'm going to probably start playing Destiny 2 on my Stadia again. I have it on PS4, but I have friends who will play it with me on Stadia who had it on PC. But yeah, I'm like in the same boat. Like, I bought Shadowkeep. I haven't even fucking finished Shadowkeep. I don't even have that like Dreambane armor finished yet. I think I've
Shadowkeep's good.
Yeah, but like it's a game I never play, but I do love Destiny, and like
yeah, a lot of the stuff I have to do in Destiny is it's not really the in-game stuff, but it's just like all the seasonal tasks and stuff that are now limited time, as opposed to like the previous year of content, which was like it's all still there and you can kind of go back and do it. Now it's just like if you don't play in these 3 months, you're just screwed. You don't get to experience any of it, which I understand. I think their design reasoning for trying to do that, because they're just trying to like not overcrowd the world and make it feel fresh every time you hop in. But
which was a common complaint about Destiny in the past, like both of them.
The complaints are always on both sides of like, oh, there's too much to do, or there's not enough to do, or I feel like there's just nothing unique, and I think they're in a spot where they can't win. Or it's just really hard to win.
Striking that balance is also super fucking hard.
Yeah, because they have so many different types of players. They have their hardcore players that are playing all day, every day, and like what they're doing with seasons is perfect for them. But for me, where I'm just like, I'll play Destiny every once in a while, and I really like it. It's like, oh crap, but I paid for this content that I missed out on 2 seasons of it, essentially. Or like, I only played a little bit of it, or I only play when I see something cool going on, and I try to like follow the YouTube tutorial on how to get the cool new gun. That's part of this like weird in-game quest that everyone discovered at the same time. But yeah, it's a weird game. I still enjoy it. I've been playing a decent amount of multiplayer. It's weird. I play PC multiplayer with a controller in Destiny. I do the same thing for Call of Duty, so I'm at this weird disadvantage, but I still do pretty good.
But that's becoming pretty common. Like, I've heard people talking about Doom Eternal that way. They're like, yeah, I'm playing it on Steam with an Xbox controller. I'm just like, you're playing fucking Doom on a gamepad. Okay, hey, you do you.
That's how I played at PAX. It was on a gamepad on a PC.
But like that's what I'm saying. It's like it's like increasingly common now. Like what happened to the mouse and keyboard overlord bullshit?
Slowly, it's not going away. I think it's just becoming a norm to use keyboard or controllers on PC. I mean, like games are doing a good job at balancing it now, which is good. Like you could even just see in a Call of Duty lobby now. It's just like, oh, this person's playing on Battle.net with a controller, and this person's playing on Xbox with a keyboard and mouse. I'm like, you could do that. That's cool. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I had an idea just now.
Oh boy.
So you have a list of games you've been playing. I have a list of games I've been playing. What I wanted to do was like a lightning round where we just say them all, and then we each pick one of the other person's game to have them talk about, like at a little bit more depth. So we'll do the list, and then we'll choose, and then we'll talk. So you give me your list. All
right. So my list, I'll repeat. There'll be some repeats. Rainbow Six Siege, Tabletop Simulator, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Quake Champions, Golf with Your Friends, City Skylines, Destiny 2, Rock Band, Animal Crossing. We already talked, and we also already talked about that. And that is all. That's on my list.
Okay. What's Rock Band? No,
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a thing about that game. Okay. So the other games I had like listed that. I'll just list my whole list again as well for posterity's sake. Final Fantasy VII Remake, that is the full name of the game. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered Campaign. Persona 5 Royal, Animal Crossing, and last but not least, Control. So, Nick, I want to hear more about Tabletop Simulator from you. But what do you want to hear?
That was the one I was kind of hoping you would pick, too. Yeah, Tabletop Simulator is... it's interesting. I picked it up a week before it went on 50% off sale, which is how most games I buy go these days, is right before they go on sale. When did I pick it up? I think someone was just like, hey, we should play Tabletop Simulator, and we tried it, and it was during the time when my internet was very, very choppy, which it still kind of is, just because everyone's home and using all of the internet in the world and making it really bad. So it wasn't
Get
going
that
well.
Gigabit.
It's coming. It's coming. I don't know if it'll solve everything. But I've been playing a little bit of Tabletop Simulator and kind of just learning how it works, because it's a very interesting game that I've kind of just ignored for like the 2 or 3 maybe more years that it's been out. It's really just like a physics simulator where you can pick up objects and place them down, and but all the objects are game board pieces really, or cards, and there's systems for all that kind of stuff. So like if you hop onto the Steam Workshop, there are people who have made like decks of cards for all the various Unos that like WWE Uno is out there if you want to play WWE
the most
Uno.
important version.
Or Monopoly, I think is it Monopoly Rush or whatever the Monopoly card game is.
It's called Rock Band Blitz.
Rock Band Blitz. But there are versions of pretty much every single board game out there on the Steam Workshop for this game, which I think is highly illegal, and I'm kind of curious how this game is lasted this long without getting a takedown request.
That's how the Steam Workshop works. It's third-party content. They don't have to.
But I've had a few game nights with a few various different groups of friends where we've played a handful of games. Like we usually start out with Uno to just check my internet connection because it's a simple game to play. Yeah. That's always fun. I mean, it's classic Uno. So the 2 games I played most recently were Dominion, which is a classic deck building game. I don't really remember all the real mechanics, but you're essentially just building up to have a high score of some sorts in this medieval world. I think it's medieval. I don't really remember. And then Love Letter, which is another, I don't know how to explain Love Letter, but it's another simple card game. Last night I also played Into the Echo Side on it, the Insane Clown Posse deck building game with our good friend Ethan.
I know exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Of course.
That is to be fair, even though it's the Insane Clown Posse deck building game, it's a really fun game. We should play it sometime. It's really good. I enjoy everything about it. Even though it's wacky and weird and the characters are I know nothing about Insane Clown Posse. This is just making me laugh.
You're not a juggalo? You're not a
juggalo? I don't know. Maybe I am now that I have played it several times.
The next time I see a photo of you, you're going to have face paint on.
But no, yeah, I've only played a few games in Tabletop Simulator, but it's very interesting, and it's it has me excited to play. It's a very good game to play now because obviously social distancing and all that other fun stuff is key in the world we live in now. And you can't really just go over your friend's house and play board games. And even then, that was always a pain in the ass to do. It's all right, we're going to have a board game night. What board games do I own? All right, let me lug 6 over and we'll only play one of them, or vice versa. Or what games do you own and all that stuff. And it's just okay, no, you can kind of just log in. And I mean, the controls are very clunky the first 6 hours you play because you don't know how to flip cards over or put things into your deck in a neat way. Or if you're playing a deck building game where you're constantly shuffling your deck in your hand and your discard pile and all this stuff, it's there's 17 actions you have to do to get that, but you eventually get in a groove and learn the controls, and it's really fun. And you can kind of just gather around with I think some games, I think it supports up to 10 people, so there are games that obviously I don't know, I can't think of a game off the top of my head that is 10 people for a card game. I guess Cards Against Humanity or whatever, but you can play with any number of people really, and it's always a fun time, and I've enjoyed it.
Awesome. I don't really play a lot of board games, so it's always been interesting to understand how it works from just a design perspective. Even though, unless drop mix support was added, I don't think I'd ever end up actually having a use for it because I just truthfully don't play a lot of board games.
I wonder if drop mix support is possible because there is a scripting element to this, right? They allow scripts, and I don't know how complex it could get. But I could imagine if someone really wanted to reverse engineer drop mix, which I'm not saying to do or recommending at all.
Drop mix from our former employer, Harmonix Music Systems,
yes.
and Hasbro, a music mixing card game. For those who don't know,
there is an in-game music player. I don't know how deep you could get, but there's probably someone could figure something out. I bet you. Again, don't reverse engineer video games. I'm not recommending that or encouraging that. But yeah, that's Tabletop Simulator in a nutshell, and I've gotten some decent hours out of that recently. So
nice. So
for you, I think you mentioned Control.
Oh, I did mention Control.
Control is one of those games I've been wanting to play and have not played, so I'm curious to hear even more about that.
So I've only played probably like 45 minutes to an hour. Like, it's still very early days. I only have like one power right now, and I have my pistol. My history with this game has been interesting because it's like also my history with Remedy. I loved Alan Wake. I never finished Alan Wake, but I loved what I played of it, and I know, and I need to. That's going to be on my it's on my backlog VIP on Trello, which is maybe something we can talk about afterwards because we'll have plenty of time to clear out these fucking backlogs. But like, I'm a big Twin Peaks fan, David Lynch, and like magical realism, surrealism, kind of weird shit. I've got the book House of Leaves on my bookshelf in the background here. So I'm like really into like weird surrealist stuff and like the idea of like brutalist architecture in these weird buildings. And so like thematically, Control, just like Alan Wake, sounded like right up my fucking alley. The thing is, I didn't really like playing Alan Wake a lot. Like there was interesting mechanics, but it like the shooting felt very squirrely in that Uncharted way, and like there felt like too much of that, and like it felt like a drag at sometimes. And but I still enjoyed what I played of Alan Wake, and I do want to finish it, and like I think it's good enough that I'd still go back and play it. The thing is, Quantum Break happened, and Quantum Break, while a super fascinating idea, like I hated every moment of playing that game. Like I
didn't really get into Quantum Break either. It was I found the one Alan Wake Easter egg 5 minutes into it. I was like, oh, that's cool, and then I never played it.
Yeah, no, like it just, the shooting was terrible. There was too much of it. The power system was interesting, but like annoying. Like it just constantly, I felt like I was fighting the game to play, and it like really turned me off from like Remedy's like house style of gameplay. Like the narrative stuff even in that game was pretty weak, but I liked how it was like you're basically creating a television show based on your gameplay, and what you choose in the television show impacts the game. Like there was some interesting stuff there that was very much a remnant of the Xbox One's disastrous launch of TV. So like I heard about Control, and I was like tepid. I was like, ooh, this like thematically sounds cool. It's like a Metroidvania meets like Remedy's gameplay, but with more powers, and also it's got like these weird characters who sound like they could be in Twin Peaks, and also this like weird like X-Files mystery stuff, and like House of Leaves, like this weird shifting architecture kind of stuff, and like it sounded up my alley, and everyone kept saying it's really good, even if you didn't like Quantum Break. Like this is a great game, and you know, like I'm really excited for how it might tie into Alan Wake of all things, and like you should give it a try. And like everyone I was seeing on Twitter or on podcasts was saying this, but I was still just like, And then it was on sale like 2 weeks ago on the PlayStation Network for the Deluxe Collector's Edition, and so I just grabbed it. And like again, only 45 minutes, an hour in, but I'm already liking it a lot. Like the gunplay with just a pistol feels a lot better than Quantum Break. The powers, like the one power I have, like it feels a lot better. Like the recharging, it and it's just so fucking beautiful. Like I've taken like so many photos in its photo mode. I'm really into photo modes. It's like visually stunning. It's already the right kind of weird. Like your main character, Jessie, she just kind of like talks to herself, but it's not like you going like, should I do this? I don't know. It's like she's having a conversation with someone, and I want to know why, because it's not normal talking to yourself behavior, and it's just so weird. I've already met this bizarre janitor who I think a lot of people know about. His name's like, it starts with an A. He's like Norwegian or something. But I'm really excited to play more of it. Is I think the long and the short of it. Once I've beaten all of the CODs, like I'm really going to dig into it as sort of like the action shooter foil to my RPGs, which is Persona 5 Royal and Final Fantasy VII, because like I'm halfway through Final Fantasy VII already. I'm on chapter 8 of 16, but Persona 5 Royal is like a 150-hour game, so that's going to last me a while. So I need kind of a more action-packed thing to foil that. I think Control would be good. So I'm really liking it so far. I'm curious to see where it goes. Again, beautiful game. Visually, there's like loot though, and I'm kind of curious to see how that pans out, because it doesn't seem like a game that necessarily needs a loot system. But hey, I guess it's 2020, so every game does.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I should also mention I beat Resident Evil 3. I got that game, and the next day had already finished it. Not as good as RE2, but that was another game I played. So
What platform are you playing Control on?
I'm on PlayStation 4. I know there's like there's been a lot of concerns about like performance, but I haven't seen too much just yet.
Is it a Pro or just a?
I have a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X, the most powerful console ever, and a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch Lite. So of the consoles that Control's available on, I probably would have rather had it on Xbox just because of the horsepower, but it wasn't on sale there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an option because of my wallet.
Yes. So. Yeah, I've been eyeing Control for a while, and I really want to get into it at some point. But yeah, I'm also like just waiting for a sale, and I'm pretty sure I've missed one or two by now. But also, I was like, ooh, maybe it's coming to Game Pass. I'm just like, come on, and like
that's also been that's the other weird thing is like I was kind of like the last time I bought a fucking video game.
Yes.
It came to Game Pass 2 weeks later.
Every non-AAA game I've bought on Xbox has come to Game Pass within the next like 3 to 4 months, and I'm just like, I could have waited.
Yeah,
I could have waited.
Yeah. So there's that as well. There's that fact. But have you like bought any, like there are games I've definitely bought knowing that we'll be in this for a bit, but I haven't even started yet. I don't know. Have you been like that? I can name some, but I'd like to see.
I don't think I've purchased any games I haven't played yet. I've been much better about that lately. It's not spending money on games I'm not going to play. I mean, like I think what would I have purchased recently? I mean, I think the only game I purchased recently was Tabletop Simulator. Really, that and I think Human Fall Flat on Steam. I think I bought that. Yeah, that's another game I played recently was Human Fall Flat. But we haven't played that too much.
Gotcha.
But I haven't played anything. I haven't bought anything I haven't played yet. Well, I have bought games I haven't played, but not in the past like couple of months. Yeah.
So my big thing was because speaking of Game Pass, like Shenmue 1 and 2 HD were on Game Pass, and I started playing. I'm a closet Shenmue fan. I loved Shenmue 2 when I played on the Xbox, not the Dreamcast. So I started playing that, but it left Game Pass before I could even finish the first one. So I bought that digitally on Xbox. During a sale, no less. So I actually got it for like 50% off rather than the like usual Game Pass discount.
Oh, but, yeah, I was going to ask if it was the usual Game Pass discount or not. That's just good timing.
yeah. But I was at a GameStop, sadly, just killing time, and I noticed that they had Shenmue 3 for $10. Boxed. So I bought Shenmue 3 as well. So
there you go.
I've got the whole Shenmue saga to go through during this quarantine. Pretty excited to see Shenmue's stilted dialogue and weird ass presentation in HD graphics.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, those games have not aged well. But that kind of brings me to my other question. Is last year I shared a screenshot of a Trello board of my game backlog, and that inspired you to make your own backlog.
You did inspire me.
Post. Have you been keeping up with yours? How many games have you finished this year?
I have not been keeping up with my backlog.
Okay.
I've made that one really long blog post in January of last year, and then I saw it was still near the top of my website in January this year. I went, cool. Did not touch that at all. I mean, it was a fun project to go through. I enjoyed the project and the thinking and looking at what I've played. I don't even... I mean, if I was to bring up my backlog, you'd hear me clicking on my keyboard so much, it'd be really annoying. So I can't really bring it up right now. But I can't even think what's in that backlog. I know like Borderlands 3 is in there. Spider-Man is in there. God of War is in there. There's a lot of PlayStation exclusives, which I haven't purchased yet, but they're like, I want to purchase them.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to at some point, and I want to play through them. At this point, I'll probably wait until a PS5 comes out, and then buy them and hope they are backwards compatible, which it sounds like they probably will be. At least like some of the big stuff will be.
It seems like basically their plan is basically just universal backwards compatibility, but that they've only confirmed it with the top 100 games. And the way they said it was the most confusing thing in the world and caused everyone to freak out, which is understandable because the message was kind of muddled.
I mean, I'm hoping like, as long, if I play them on there, at least there's probably like the equivalent of like a PS4 Pro boost for those games with the PS5 architecture. It'll probably run a little better or whatever.
It sounds that way.
I might just wait till I might just wait till then to pick up God of War and Spider-Man. Both those games look good.
They are very good, and our friend Jay, I think, worked on Spider-Man. I think they were a technical artist on Spider-Man, so that's pretty cool. And our friend Renzo worked on God of War. Shout outs to Renzo.
Now he's at Obsidian working on
Outer Worlds. He's not working on Grounded. We actually chatted last week.
Oh yeah, so, I didn't know what games he was specifically working on, but they're working on those 2 games and probably more.
Sounds like probably more. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Outer Worlds is actually in my backlog.
It's technically on my backlog as well. Backworld.
Yes. It's I mean anything and everything on Game Pass is in my backlog, and I know forward thinking Gears Tactics and Minecraft Dungeons, which I think come out this month and next. Those should go to the back of my backlog, but they'll probably be immediately played and beaten because I want to play both of those. Yeah. Which is the infinite problem of having a backlog of games is, something new comes out and you're like, whatever, yep. I'll just put that off.
Yep. No, and that's kind of my big thing. So like I also have like a done column in my backlog, and I've only finished 4 games this year, and 3 of them were since this quarantine started. Mortal Kombat 11, Kentucky Route Zero, which is probably my favorite game so far this year. RE3, COD 4 Remastered. But like, oh God, I my backlog has grown because of this quarantine, and like you had just mentioned Minecraft, and this is like an awkward segue, but I don't know anything about Minecraft. There's like apparently 2 versions of Minecraft. There's Minecraft and Minecraft Java Edition.
Yes.
And I learned that a venue I love in Brooklyn, New York, elsewhere, they were doing a virtual concert in Minecraft Java Edition, which cost $30, and I was upset to learn because I don't want to pay $30 for Minecraft. Sorry, Microsoft. But what's wild to me is, like, as someone who goes to a lot of live shows now and who has had some live shows lined up that are postponed or whatever, like, this was like a cool opportunity to actually go to a free concert in a virtual world. I didn't get to do it because I didn't have Minecraft, but it got me thinking, like have there any events that you were planning on going to that are like canceled that like now you're like, what do I do?
I don't think there were any events per se. I know it would have been like beginning of February. I was actually talking to you about coming down to Florida.
Yeah, you're gonna come visit me. Yeah.
That's now on postpone. I was also talking to another friend, which I'm not going to name their name just in case they don't want it, about like going to visit them in Japan, which would have been fun. And I was like, I still have the money to do that, and it's like, well, I guess I gotta wait to do that for a long while now because of all the things. I mean, there were probably a few concerts that I was like looking at that I just can't think of right now, but like all that stuff got postponed, and it's like they'll probably, like, depending on how long this stuff goes, they'll probably get postponed again. So it's like I'm just not gonna like get excited for anything event wise for a while. I did want to go. There was like part of me that was kind of hoping to still have the money to like go to like a PAX West or something later this year.
PAX West doesn't happen, right?
I don't think that's good. I mean, it happens in September, but like that's also like I don't want to be too optimistic.
Yeah, and I guess like the reason I say that is because I'm involved with an event in the games industry called Boston Fig. For those of you not aware, Boston Festival of Indie Games, these are conversations we still have to have. Like, we've postponed our talk event, which was supposed to happen in May, but like Game Loop Montreal, which is technically an event that we have some involvement with because we own Boston Game Loop, and Game Loop Montreal like is licensed from that. Like, that's been canceled this year. That happens in October usually. Yeah, and they've canceled it until next year. And like the wildest thing is almost like what events haven't been canceled. Like I still have a Pitchfork Music Festival ticket. That happens in July. They have not canceled it. My 1975 concert in June has been postponed indefinitely. Like, it's not canceled. It's going to be rescheduled, but like that's still supposed to happen at a later date. Thankfully, our My Chemical Romance tickets are still valid because I did get MCR tickets in September because when I was a young boy, all I ever really wanted to do was go into the city with my father to see a marching band. But like it's wild to think about because like I wanted to go to Montreal just for fun in the spring, and then I wanted to go to Seattle and Vancouver. I want to have visitors, more visitors. here, and then like I don't even like I haven't booked a flight to Chicago or a hotel or anything for this music festival in July because I don't think it's gonna happen still. But they haven't said otherwise. Like the last communication they sent was like 3 weeks ago, being like, "Hey, we're not canceling yet, but we might, but we're not."
Yes.
And I'm just like, I can't plan around this. Help me.
Yeah, all the events are very interesting just to like look at, and like I know GEC, the Game Developers Conference, also put their tickets up for their summer event
in August.
And like there's stuff in, like you said, in like September, October that's already canceled because of all this. And like I also get why GEC needs to do that, because they need to like that whole organization needs to make money and hope that like like pay their staff and all that kind of stuff. So it's like hopefully there is some cash flow going back into their business that their employees could like, I don't know, pay their bills and stuff. But like I also don't think that event is even going to happen, and like I don't even know who right now is like, yeah, I'll spend the money on the tickets, why not? Because they are still they're much cheaper, but they're also still like a couple $100 for an expo pass, and probably like $600 for the whole convention.
And that's just the event, not the flight or the hotel in San Francisco.
I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, I hope these events happen, but I hope they happen to the degree of like, hey, all this stuff is over and somehow we solved it, right?
Yeah,
because that would be cool. Because I also want to leave my house and go to Chili's at some point in the future, and it's,
of course you do.
Sad I haven't been to Chili's. I went to Chili's the day before, or like 2 days before. They're like, all right, yeah, you should just not leave your house in Connecticut anymore. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I got my last Chili's in. That was good. But it's like, like all that stuff. It'd be nice for it to eventually just be a thing of the past and not be living in it as we are now.
Yeah, Nick Mudry, everyone over here wanting to go to fucking Chili's, and I'm here being like, God, I miss my hipster coffee shops. I just want to sit here, drink my fancy tea, have a scone, listen to records in a coffee shop. Nick's just like, I want my baby back ribs.
I mean, I usually don't get the ribs. I get the smokehouse combo with a.
He even knows the combo he gets.
I'm trying to think. It's like brisket, chicken crispers. There's another thing in here. Sausage, and there's one more thing. No, that might actually be it all. And it comes with like fries and this like nicely seasoned corn. It's a wonderful meal for $20. I highly recommend it once you're no longer quarantined and can go to a Chili's and dine in.
Can Chili's deliver that to you?
I mean, they're kind of far away, so it'll be cold by the time it gets here. So
I mean,
if you live next to a Chili's,
you should try it. Like I've been getting Domino's delivery, like doing the like $5 medium combo stuff, so I can have lunches during the week. They're $5.99. Yeah, and then supporting local restaurants with takeout on the weekends, because like that's actually like the more serious angle is like a lot of these businesses are like suffering. Like already, I know, like I mean, you went to my house in Massachusetts a few times, and like there's a lot of like Chinese and Asian restaurants nearby that do like takeout. Like when we did that like anime night and we got Chinese, but like one restaurant that I used to love for takeout, like they pretty much went out of business a week after Corona.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that.
Like that sucks. Rough. Like I've had friends who like work in the service industry, like as baristas and stuff, have lost their jobs, and like it sucks. And like the best way like to support them is just like to keep ordering delivery, like be safe and smart about it. Like and then like Venmoing them and stuff. Like I know some coffee shops set up like a tip Venmo to help their former employees and stuff, but it's been fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm like it's interesting because like obviously I don't live in Boston anymore, but like all the places that we used to go out to eat or just grab lunch in the financial district down in Boston, like there's no offices obviously open down there like anymore. Like everyone's working from home, and it's like, what is gonna look like in 3, 6, 9 months when this is over and everyone's back at the office, like back at their offices and stuff, and it's like, what's there to eat around here? Like, who's still open? Like, and those are also places where there's not, like, people don't live. Not a lot of people live in the city, or at least if they do, they're like paying an arm, 3 arms.
The apartments across from the Harmonix office, above my favorite Starbucks in the world.
Yes,
like those are expensive because there are apartments with a rooftop thing where you could be Karen and play your Nintendo Switch.
And most of those are also like, I don't think they're they're all occupied either.
Exactly, but like they're not cheap. Like I definitely looked once. It's like, what if I could just live above that Starbucks?
Yes. But it's like, yeah, all those businesses and restaurants and food places and stuff, it's just like, yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to them.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's a wild time. Like, so my message is support local businesses, order online where you can, be that delivery, be that like a virtual sale. Like I just bought, or I'm going to be buying rather. I keep saying I just bought it because I keep thinking I did, but I haven't. Like I'm buying a gift card to a tattoo shop that I'll get a tattoo at once the thing is over. And like supporting like local record stores by like buying merchandise basically and having that shipped to me, like because I can't buy their records. So like just doing what you can, because I'm like super fortunate. Is like I have a pretty well-paying job. I have a nice apartment with all the amenities I need. Florida is hot, so I think like I can go outside and exercise and stuff. Like it's not like New England where it's like you might get snow in a week, even though it's April. I'm over here being like, fuck, is it already 92 degrees? Like right now it's 86, and I'm like, lovely, it's cold.
I'm jealous.
So like it's wild. It's a rough time. And I guess like kind of segues into the last thing I wanted to bring up is like, what else are you doing besides playing games to like stay sane and work doesn't keep you sane?
Yeah. I mean, luckily, like I said at the beginning, work is part-time, so I do have another 20 hours of my week to kind of just play games or chill or do some hobby kind of stuff. It was just before my last day at Harmonix, because Harmonix has a cool benefit where you could spend, I think it's $400 on a game console or a piece of like any musical hardware. So I ended up picking up a Line 6 HX Stomp multi-effects guitar pedal, which is just like one of those all-in-one guitar pedals that you can just like make any amp or any guitar pedal sound or chain of those. Yeah. So that inspired me to pick up my guitar a little bit more. So I've been playing more guitar than I usually have, which is nice. That's kind of been my like non-gaming, non-work hobby kind of thing.
Have you been binging any television or anything?
Sorta. I mean, I watched Tiger King, which I thought was interesting, but not my favorite thing in the world. Like, just from a documentary kind of standpoint, like that was all over the place and the pacing sucked, and I just did not like it because of that. Because they started one story in this documentary, and they're like, all right, we'll just go to this next thing, and they're like, all right, you teed that up, we'll just go to the next thing. I'm like, also like the whole story is just like weird and insane and crazy. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was just like,
I hear you. I have confidential information about Tiger King that I wish I could share that makes
you live in Florida,
everything wilder. I can't say anything more than that other than I know something about Carol.
Oh wow.
And I will tell you first offline. Cian Rice knows something about Carol. God, Tiger King, what a wild fucking thing.
What else have I been watching? I've been watching some YouTube more. Gordon Ramsay has a YouTube channel, which is interesting. He has his own shows on there. One of them, I think he just started it, which means there probably won't be a lot more episodes because of this whole quarantine thing.
Oh, would you fucking come on with yourself, would you? You're fucking terrible.
He has a show called Scrambled where he just makes breakfast with celebrities.
Does his first episode was with. Yell at them?
No, they're just friendly, which is weird.
I know Gordon Ramsay can be a very nice person, but I hate it when he is because I always think of him as the asshole. Impression
that's true. But his first episode was with Steve-O, which is just, you could just imagine that weird dynamic, right?
I mean, like, let's also unpack the fact that that's probably the first time I've heard the name Steve-O in maybe a decade.
I mean, Steve-O also has his own YouTube channel if you want to follow Steve-O.
I actually don't. But,
yeah. But yeah, it was a weird first episode, but it was also very enjoyable. And then the other two episodes I watched, there's one more after that I haven't. I don't know who the guest is, but he had the Bella Twins from WWE on, which is another I've been watching a lot of WWE recently, so had the Bella Twins from WWE, and then WrestleMania. Oh boy, and then he also had Ronda Rousey from WWE. Yeah, I know.
Gordon, why? Gordon, why?
But I don't know. There's the whole WWE thing that's been in my brain for the last few months. I'm like, oh, cool, WWE stuff. Let me watch this. And also, Gordon Ramsay. This show's entertaining. Let me keep watching this and hope there's more episodes. Oh boy, WrestleMania. You mentioned that. That was interesting. I don't know.
Did John Cena fight himself?
John Cena had the Firefly Funhouse match. It wasn't really a match against. God, now the name faded, but
a clown dude is what I heard.
Against Bray Wyatt, or
yeah, that's it, something like that.
Yeah, I forget what his alter ego's name is, if there is one. Which was essentially just bringing John Cena on a trip through his past and all the bad decisions he made, and it was highly produced and highly weird, and I loved every second of it. That was freaking ridiculous.
Were you able to see him while you watched it, though? Because I hear that your time is up, his time is now. You can't see him, his time is now.
John Cena was fully visible.
Wow, impressive.
Fully visible. I don't know. That WrestleMania was weird. I enjoyed it, but it was just weird considering there's no audience, and they're like, all wrestling right now is extremely weird considering there's no crowd, and you actually hear people wrestling, and you hear the ref, and you hear the echo of the announcers in the arena, which is just weird.
Yeah. So, but like, as someone who doesn't watch wrestling, I also feel like part of the charm of it is that it's a very staged production, but there's an audience interacting with it, and when you take that away, you're basically just watching live action Dragon Ball Z. Yeah,
it's weird because like a lot of they're not in a large arena, right? And like one of the spectacles of wrestling is, if not one of the biggest, is like the entrances, and as like a wrestler walks into the ring, and there's music, there's lights, there's sometimes pyrotechnics depending on the arena, there's all this other like cool stuff, and there's also like the crowd interaction as they walk into the ring and they like showboat themselves and make themselves feel cool, and they feed off of that energy and interact with the crowd, and all that's gone, right? Like they're in this performance center, I think in Orlando or something, right near you.
3 hours away. It's like driving to New York from Boston.
And where was I on that? It's just like, there's some lights, and that's pretty much it. And there's a little ring in there, and they walk down, and but they're still doing their entrance, which is weird. Sometimes like they're like they would stand and like look to a fake crowd. It's just like, it's weird, and there's no response.
It sounds wild.
There's none of that. Like tag team matches, like usually like sometimes you have the person that's not in the ring like hyping up the crowd, and there's just there standing there. There's not that weird interaction that you normally get that makes like a wrestling show feel a little more engaging even to you at home, even though you're not in the arena. But it's just weird. It's just like it's just like crickets and banging on a mat.
Jesus. Oh God.
What else have I been watching? Hot Ones. I've been re-binging a lot of Hot Ones episodes because I enjoy those.
What is Hot Ones?
Hot Ones
Quick 1 minute summary.
Hot Ones is how do I best explain it? So it's a host and usually a celebrity, and they go. They have 10 chicken wings they eat, and the host interviews the celebrity and asks them a question after each wing they eat, and each wing grows in intensity and spiciness and that kind of stuff. And then once they complete it, the celebrity gets to like give their like one-line pitch of like what they're doing and what's up. Like, oh, hey, I have a new movie out, or check out my new album. Or usually there's like, ah, crap, I regret signing up for this. And these wings. Gordon Ramsay was also on that, which is a very interesting. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Spicy Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I also because now I've been watching a lot of YouTube. My recommendations have been like showing me new stuff that isn't just gaming videos, because usually I'm just watching game trailers on YouTube and stuff like that. Somehow I came across a channel called VAT19, which they're actually just this like company that makes promotional products, like I don't know, giant gummy bears and stuff like that. But their like interesting uniqueness to their company is they make like they take like YouTube personality and make like videos around those products, and they make like wacky videos of like, I don't know, a giant thing of Jell-O that they're gonna dive into. It's just like weird stuff like that, and they like somehow get tons of views, which is insane. But they like started a series called Hidden in Plain Sight, which has just been weirdly addicting. And one of their employees tries to hide from their boss in their giant office for a whole day, and their boss just seeks them out. But it's just like weirdly it's weirdly entertaining and a casual watch.
You're watching the
like,
wildest shit.
Yes, I'm just watching weird stuff. Although I don't think that's the wildest stuff on YouTube.
I mean, I'm not watching YouTube, so I guess my bar's pretty low. Like, I'm over here watching fucking Twin Peaks for the bajillionth time. I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I'm watching New Girl and Community. And
I need to rewatch Community now. It's on Netflix.
Even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a fucking weird show, sounds pedestrian compared to some of what you described. That's a show where they have to basically fight a baby, and they I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to
sounds
say.
Interesting.
It's a bizarre show. It features Roundabout by Yes as one of the ending themes. Yeah. Oh, God. I've fallen off of YouTube. I've become like an old person. I'm like, streaming content, who needs that? I watched actually Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus. I watched that. It's actually really good.
I've been meaning to watch that. Considering I pay for Apple TV Plus and don't use it.
I got it for free for a year with my iPhone 11 purchase, but it felt like it understood game studios just enough to make the humor land and feel like, oh, I get this. This is like a heightened version. Not even always heightened. There's a whole episode where they introduce the community manager at the company, and it is amazing.
I've heard about this episode.
She's just like, they don't let me upstairs. It's upsetting. And she's saying it with this really chipper voice, and she's just like, but do we think we could maybe, I don't know, take care of the Nazis? It'd be great if we could. Just saying.
Right.
I understand. Big mood.
Yep.
It was a really fun 8-episode series. I'm curious to see what a season 2 might entail. And I know Riverdale comes back this week. So anyone who knows me knows that I, for worse or for worse, I'm a Riverdale fan. And I'm curious to see how this season ends, because the big tease and mystery of the season that they teased at the end of last season wrapped up 2 episodes ago, and there's still 4 episodes left. And Riverdale jumped the shark by the 2nd episode of the series, so it's a wild TV show, and I'm just kind of curious to see, especially because actually I think they haven't been able to finish the season production, because they actually had a COVID case while they were finishing up, so they have to halt production. But it sounds like they've gotten 3 of the 4 final episodes done, so it would be interesting to kind of see how they handle that. But it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But binging. I've also been watching Terrace House. I don't know if you know what Terrace House is.
Not at all.
It is a Japanese reality TV series where 3 men and 3 women live in a house together to achieve their goals and maybe find love. And it's so different from American reality TV, because I think of the cultural differences, and people will come and go, and it's just a nice show that really makes you jealous because you can't be around people right now, and there's just strangers coming and going, and going on dates and stuff, and getting close, and I'm just oh, okay, I'm just going to stay here by myself in my apartment for the next 17 months or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I'll live vicariously through these Japanese people. So I've been watching that. I've also been just listening to a lot of music and podcasts, which I believe we're recording a podcast right now. That this isn't just. I
think we are.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We are figuring out how to record a podcast. Yeah. We'll see where
we'll figure it out.
It's interesting. My podcast listening has gone way down since.
I'm hearing this. Everybody is saying that, because I think a lot of people listen to podcasts on their commute. But I podcast game. So I basically when I'm playing Call of Duty, for example, because it's mindless, I can also just have a podcast playing and kind of split my attention. I'll listen to a podcast at work sometimes while doing stuff, as opposed to just music. But my podcast.
I do a lot of writing for work. Same. Yeah, a lot of my work is writing, and if I'm listening to a podcast, I'll start writing the podcast as I'm hearing it, and it's nah, I just can't do this. I can't do this.
The solution I've found is that I have podcasts where I want to listen intently, and I have podcasts where the conversation is background noise, and I'll listen to those ones. So if I'm writing a script or something, that's when I'll do that. It's a learning curve, but I do that. I'm also, I don't know, in terms of other stuff, I don't know about you. You said you're playing guitar, but I'm working on an EP of covers of songs. Yeah. I'm hoping to have it out by May. It'll probably be 3 songs. It'll probably be terrible. This is my first time trying to like make songs, let alone a small album. It'll probably be like a charity thing where like you can download it for free, but if you like pay $3, you'll get like shitty at-home karaoke performances, and then like all the money will go to like a charity or something to help people.
That sounds fun
right now, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They're all covers, no original music, but
it makes it easy.
Yeah. One's a cover of a cover.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Covers of covers are always interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to get that finished. I finished like one song almost. I just need to do the vocals properly. Like I recorded them with my gaming headset, my Astro whatever headset this is. I don't know what headset this is. It's a SteelSeries probably. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it looks like SteelSeries.
But like I have to record it now with like an actual microphone. So there's that, and just.
Well, now you have the demo version that you could release as part of your $3 charity.
Yeah, I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far. No. You'll get the bonus karaoke videos that I'll record just for paid donations. But Rock Band. We've been playing some Rock Band occasionally.
We have occasionally played some Rock Band.
I did end up having to sing a 9-minute Green Day song by myself because your internet dropped out. But like I
was that Jesus of Suburbia?
Yeah. I'm the son of love and rage. The Jesus of Suburbia, the diary of, I don't fucking know the lyrics, but that's been fun. Rock Band DLC's been interesting lately. I don't know, like this last week's DLC, we're recording this on April 12th, was literally my favorite song so far this year. Simmer by my wife. Not really my wife, Haley Williams. But Haley, if you're listening, just follow me on Instagram, message me or something. And like Dua Lipa, and I almost gold starred Dua Lipa on my first try. I got distracted by a phone ringing and like I missed a few bars, and that it impacted my multiplier. But like I was keeping a combo going pretty good, and they're really good songs, and it's been interesting output.
Yeah, I haven't played. I don't think I've played actually Rock Band at all in this like. What is it? Season 16, I think. Yeah, I haven't played it. I don't fucking know. I haven't played much this last couple weeks, but the DLC that I've been seeing, I mostly just see it on Twitter, has been really good, and I want to play it, but I just haven't yet. Yeah. Mostly because I haven't hooked up my Xbox again because I moved my office from the basement upstairs. So it's just I have an Xbox on my desk that just has no cords plugged into it. So I should probably do that if I want to play some Rock Band. But
maybe
one step at a time.
But I don't know if you heard, speaking of sort of like DLC and music games, I guess Rocksmith is finally ending its DLC run, which is a bummer.
Oh, Rocksmith,
I love Rocksmith. It's a great way to like learn new songs and to just kind of like practice almost. And I found out they recently released an Opeth DLC pack, which I
shout out to Renzo.
I texted Renzo immediately. I was like, "Yo, BRB, buying this Opeth DLC pack. It's a good pack. I think Renzo will love the choice, like Ghost of Perdition, which is also in Rock Band. The song Bleak, which features Steven Wilson from Porcupine Tree, Renzo's favorite band, I think. So again, shout out to Renzo. This is the Renzo minute of the podcast that we're figuring out. And then Blackwater Park from that same album. And Blackwater Park is like a 12-minute progressive death metal song, and the fact that you can now learn that in Rocksmith is pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. I've been playing a lot of that to try and like practice guitar on my end as well. So because it's a nice, easy, it's like a more enjoyable way to learn a song than like just looking at the tablature. And I guess I'm like, it's bittersweet that it's ending because there's like still so many songs and bands I want to see. Like, Welcome Home isn't in that game. There's no Coheed in Rocksmith. The one Bring Me the Horizon song they have is not really like a super guitar heavy song. I'm going to bitch a bit, but I do this out of love because I want more, right? It's like they have like the opening track to the album Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon, and that song, like, I don't think about the guitar when I listen to that song, but that's the Bring Me the Horizon song they have in the game. And, you know, like, they did get Misery Business, thankfully, but like there could have been so much more Paramore. Like they got some good Mastodon songs, but like it's just they did a really good job with DLC over the 8 years or whatever, 12 years, 2011, 9 years of DLC that they did. Like, and it's an impressive run. I think that may actually beat Rock Band for like consecutive DLC almost.
They might be, they might beat it for consecutive
because there was the break between Rock Band 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was like a couple of years, I think.
It was like 2013 to early 2014, and there was, or 2015, and that was just the like teaser DLC.
Yep.
Yeah. But
you know, Rocksmith is a good game. I mean, like they put in that post saying that they're stopping it because they're working on a new project.
Yeah,
and then they just dropped it there, which is it's interesting. It's like even the Rocksmith team is still like, yeah, we're working on a new project. So it's like, okay, it's probably a new Rocksmith game, I would hope.
Rocksmith 2020. That's my Rocksmith
well, I mean,
voiceover
selling a game
impression.
with selling a game with 2014 in its name and 2020 is maybe they just
okay. I mean, to be fair, they did re-release it as Rocksmith 2014 remastered.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to see a new Rocksmith. I'd be curious, like, how they could expand it. Like, obviously, I think they could have more like options for tuning and like support for like pedals and stuff, and like a better audio pipeline. Because I think some of the like amp stuff in that game sounds kind of bad. No offense.
Yeah.
And like there are definitely songs where like the guitar you're playing with their like amp recreating the sound doesn't quite sound the same. But like, what else could they add? Like, could they add like vocal training? Like,
yeah, I mean, vocal training could be a thing. Drums would be interesting, although like it's interesting because you have Rock Band Pro drums, which are pretty close to. It's almost pretty 1-to-1. It's not 1-to-1, but it's close.
But then also, like, how would you teach with like Rocksmith's big thing, right? Is like a real guitar. So like, would it be a real electronic drum kit?
Yeah, probably.
Like I could see like maybe like a keyboard synth mode, like bringing it back from Rock Band 3 maybe, and like just plugging in a MIDI cable to USB. But like, I'd be curious how they could actually expand on the formula.
Yeah, I wonder if their answer is more instrument support or
12-string guitar.
Else.
Gent support, just one string.
Yeah, I wonder if they're like. The interesting next step is like Rocksmith is very good at teaching you how to play guitar, but they don't go deep into how to, at least like from
Music
its core
theory.
gameplay, like doesn't teach you theory and doesn't have a system to go, okay, let's record your first song and like let's build. And like I wonder if there is like, okay, let's make a song, and then you could kind of share that with the world to a degree. So it's like, okay, I made a song and it's already now charted because I made it in Rocksmith.
Yeah,
you can play my song.
That would be an interesting avenue. Like if they did that with Guitar Hero, and then people would release those shitty MIDI covers of like every song ever. So I could see that becoming a thing again, but with like higher quality audio. Right? It's like here's my Stairway to Heaven cover in Rocksmith. Learn how to play Stairway. Ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding.
yeah. It's almost like the whole RBN angle of. The whole Rock Band Network angle of Rocksmith could be like an interesting thing if done right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what else they would really add, because like I feel like the mini games they have are cool, but like super underutilized and kind of buried away behind like 2 layers of clicks. And you're just like, I just want to play a song.
Well, it's not even the clicks. Like what actually, and I guess another like way to approach is they could refine the cable, like the actual like tech they use could be improved, like. Because my big thing with the mini games is that you have to like strum all the strings loudly, but it doesn't always work. And so I'm just like, I can't even start the damn game. I'm strumming all these strings as loudly as I can, and like it's just But I'd be curious to see if they do another Rocksmith or if it's like a completely different thing or something, or maybe because like Ubisoft has acquired freestyle games, like the people who made Guitar Hero Live and DJ Hero, like. They could be helping with a music game. What if they just made Rocksmith Arcade and it was basically just a rhythm game? and it was like Rocksmith Arcade : band, the Beatles, plus Muse.
Plus Muse.
Yeah.
Rocksmith
has more Muse than any other game.
That's true. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they're up to. It'd be interesting also if it just turns out not to be Rocksmith.
I honestly think that might be more likely because I feel like like the fact that Rocksmith DLC lasted this long, like it's kind of similar to like the Rock Band thing. Is like, how do you even get the hardware at this stage? Like those real tone cables like are probably easier to use a third party one than say make your own plastic guitar, but like there's a hardware shortage for sure. It's like resellers. So
yeah, and they started to like help alleviate that. They added like 2 modes: one where you could use a microphone
and one where you
mic
don't
up an
actually
acoustic
play
guitar,
the game.
and one where it's just like, okay, this is just virtual tablature.
Yeah,
which actually like, hey, that's cool. Like if you just
I use that a lot.
Cable
actually. Yeah, I actually use that a lot because I have a practice amp. I want to buy a real amp, but yeah.
Yeah. But you should get a Line 6 HX Stomp multi-effects guitar pedal.
How much is that?
It was like $500.
Well,
it has you can output through USB.
Do you want to just send me
and
yours?
Through no.
I tried. Oh.
It's interesting because you could output the audio to multiple sources at the same time. So you could output to like via a USB cable to your computer, and then via like a 3.5-inch headphone jack, so you could hear it yourself. And then also, if you want to output it to an amp through a 1/4-inch jack at the same time, you can. I was like, ooh, this thing is like, you can do a lot of interesting stuff just with this alone. Yeah. And then also on top of that, like you could control you could control it, the pedal itself with your computer via USB. So like you could adjust like effects without having to like actually press the buttons on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Really,
I mean,
it's a very interesting piece of tech.
I feel like I'm more likely to buy like a drum pad before I dive into something like that. Like I just want like maybe a better amp than a practice amp that I have, and that isn't battery operated. But like, yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. So that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've kind of reached an end here. I don't know.
Yes,
do we figure out an outro?
Yes, we have to figure out an outro, especially since we've covered everything that we've been doing through quarantine so far.
Well, I guess let's informally figure out an outro right now. So before every week, we like to end with Cian's song pick of the week. This week, I am going to pick the song "Stardew" by Purity Ring. It's very nice. I really like it. It's from their latest album, Womb. And that's been your song pick of the week. So, Nick, why don't you take us out?
You want me to take us out?
Yeah,
all right.
That's how formal this is.
You're putting me on the spot for this. I have no idea. I was not even planning on saying anything. But yeah, no, this is fun. This is Cian and Nick Figure It Out, the podcast edition. We don't even know how often we're going to be doing these, so I was going to say, hey, check out the episode next week, but we'll figure that out.
Maybe 2 weeks from now, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 10 years.
We'll probably have a Twitter account or something. Let's start. You can follow us both on Twitter. I'm at Nick_Mudry on Twitter, and Cian, you are
at the Cian Rice. That's spelled TheCianrice. I have an Irish name, so I have to spell it.
Yeah, so we'll probably post about this show somewhere on there, and then more information as it happens. Hopefully the outro next week will have more information, or like I said, next week, it could be 2 weeks of the next episode. We'll have more information on if you like this, where you can kind of stay tuned. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us. Cian, if you have anything else to say before we wrap this up.
No, I just want to kick it over to our sponsor. We don't have any sponsors. No. It's been fun. I hope everybody's staying sane out there. I'm not.
Yes.
But yeah. Until next episode.